What is up, Nomad Nation? You've got Godfather. I'm 1/3 of your Nomad Gamers. It is Tuesday. We have started yet another week. The weekends fly by for whatever reason. I don't understand why. Hey, real quick, if you're watching me on any of these social medias down below, you'll either find me on Godfather, Godfather09, or Godfather1 over on TikTok. I want to say thank you for watching. What I need you to do is I need you to hit that follow button. Next thing I need you to do is very simple. It's quick, it's easy, and guess what? It's kind. Give me a like. Just hit the like button. Too easy. Now, turn on your notifications. That way, every time when I come live at you on on any night when I'm doing my gaming, you are being notified. Now, if you're watching me over on YouTube, thank you very much. You have found the home of the Nomad Gamers, where every Saturday at 4 p.m. Central Time, 5 p.m. Eastern, my two co-hosts join me, and we have a lot of fun talking about the gaming industry, gaming news, catching up on Fallout, the TV show, or any other movie or TV show that's game related. And it's just a whole new vibe. If you want to talk to your favorite Nomad gamer, or if you want to watch this over on Discord, you can find us over on the Nomad Gamers. That's what you have to. That's what you have to search. Do what you got to do to subscribe to the channel. You'll see me in general chat over on the left-hand side. It's not hard to find me. So what are we talking about tonight? First order of business, like always, the famous background. I will get out of the way and let you guys see that here in a second. We'll go over the rules for that. Then we have got a whole host of stuff. We're going to be talking a little bit about the role-playing in Grand Theft Auto. That is a huge community that seems to be getting bigger. And it also seems to be taking on its own light. So we'll be talking about that. We're also going to be talking about the Stop Killing Games petition. They just hit a major milestone over in the EU. Are there changes coming to World of Warcraft? 23 years. There's only been one update with a major change to the world. Could the second change be coming soon? WWE 2K26, we got news on it. And then Zelda. We hardly ever talk about Zelda on any of the live sessions. But we have news on Zelda. So stay tuned, sit down, get the beverage of your choice. Be reading something else while you're listening to me. Remember to be kind. Give me a like if you really like what you see or you know of somebody who this would fit right into their wheelhouse. Do me a favor, share my content with them. Tell them to tune in on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7:30 or Mondays and Wednesdays at 7:30 for my live streams. And yeah, they too can get a little bit of knowledge that God's Father has given. All right, so the famous background. We got 3 weeks left. We're almost in the home front. Dakota Novell, he's got 3 points. He's in the lead. Gaming Utopia has a point. He's on the board. Here's how you get on the board. You got to follow whatever social media site that you are watching me on right now. You have to give Talking Tuesday a like. And then you have to guess the background. You have to tell me what gaming system it came off of and the number in the sequence that it's in. So, i.e., Fallout 3. That's 2 points. Fallout 3. Hey, it came out for the PS or the PlayStation 4 or 3. I'm sorry, 3. Got it. There's 3 points. So there you go. Now, Dakota, you were quick on the ball tonight, my friend. Let's go and let's see what's going on here. What is this? Do you know who that is? How about that? The person up there in that corner. And then who who's this cat right here? Dakota Novell just got his fourth point. It is Harry Potter. I got to check to see if this other answer is correct because I don't remember that being on there. It might be. It might actually be correct. Let me go to my cheat sheet. And because I know there's a glare on my glasses, Dakota's on the ball, though, ladies and gentlemen. You all better get quicker on the draw. Oh, let's see here. He got 2 points. Dakota, this year is it's a 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 5 point night. You could really pull out into the lead with this, but you got 3 out of the 5 points. So, yep, it is. It was on the GameCube, and it is Harry Potter. Now you got to tell me which one it is, and then you got to tell me the rest of it, and then I'll give you the rest of the points. So he's off and running. It's Harry Potter. It was on the GameCube. What else is there? We'll get to that. All right, so let's get into our news of the night. You're incorrect. You're incorrect, Dakota. It is not the Chamber of Secrets. Uh, so as everybody knows, I've been playing Grand Theft Auto 5 very heavily here lately. Uh, I think I've been doing a very good job with my criminal empire on that game. Uh, I am I am setting goals and I am pushing to the goals. And one of those goals is to get up to $1 million, get the get whatever business that I am looking to get, and get gone again. And then from there, it gets kind of murky. Do I upgrade it all the way? Do I move on to the next one? It's pretty much what is my ooh shiny syndrome want me to do at that particular point in moment. Like last night, I spent almost $500,000 on upgrading one of my vehicles. Looked fun at the time. But I've always been wondering, these RP servers, the 5M community, I can kind of see why the 5M community is so popular. I can kind of see why they're doing what they're doing. So by the way, you're right, Dakota. I'll get to you here in a second. Uh, Over on PC Gamer, this caught my attention. It's one of the older articles that I saw, and I decided to put it on. And we'll go through it. But it makes a lot of sense. It really does, ladies and gentlemen. There's been an influx of players applying to the LSPD in Grand Theft Auto roleplay like it's a real police force, except the crimes are fake, the paperwork is real, and everyone appears to be shouting codes they found on Google into their headsets. Now, don't lie to me. How many of you out there start screaming into your headset for something that you know the game is supposed to be doing? I'm guilty of it. I am. I was just thinking about this whole RP thing last night when myself and JJ were playing. Now, if you guys don't know, uh, my team, we're still down 1, but my team consists of myself, JJ, and Dakota. Dakota has been hired onto Team Nomad for the Grand Theft Auto PC version. I wouldn't know. I've only played the one on PS5. He's talking about Harry Potter, by the way. He says, it was an amazing game, in my opinion. One of my favorite games. The series on GameCube was fantastic. I must say, I didn't play GameCube too often. I don't think I played it at all, actually. So, back to the RP. Uh, I was thinking to myself, man, this would be kind of fun to have an RP server. And I'm not going to lie to anybody out there. I've been heavily thinking about possibly having a Nomad Gamers one for Grand Theft Auto 6 when it comes out. I need to talk to Gaming Utopia, see if he understands it. I need to talk to Fireball, see if he understands it. But I would like to set one up. I have a different way of running it, and I think the different way of running it would be ideal, and I think that people would enjoy it. But that is a discussion between myself, Fireball, Gaming Utopia, and then of course my team that I have. Uh, Dakota's hired, hasn't been on yet. I don't know where the hell he's at. JJ came on last night. We did almost $500,000 in an hour, not even an hour. So it's there. We're gonna make money. We're gonna have fun doing it. I just gotta get my team together and get to gaming. But back to this. You can find this article on PC Gamer. PC Gamer, I'm not endorsing them. They don't endorse me. They don't sponsor me, but I'm going to tell you now, they have some of the best information on video games out there. If they don't know and they say, "Hey, this is my opinion," it's their opinion, but they don't try and make a fact out of their opinion. They'll tell you between the two. There's other sites where you got to wade through and figure out what's bullshit, what's their opinion, and what's actually fact. But it says King Kong ain't got shit on these dedicated GTA officer role players. And it's kind of weird because I was over on TikTok doom scrolling and I ran across, I don't know, 3 or 4 5M communities that are on TikTok and watching the law enforcement do their thing on that server. While it looks fun, it looks interesting, I'm not 100% sold yet, at least not for me. I would love to talk to a 5M community. They have an open invitation to get a hold of any of these social media pages and say, "Hey, I am with X community. You said you wanted to talk to us. We'd like to do an interview." By God, I'd set it up for Talking Tuesday, Thursday, or I might even talk to the other 2 nomads and see about bringing them on to the main podcast. We're not here to judge them. We're not here to make fun of them. We're not here to do anything except for to learn. We're here to see what exactly that they do. And I don't want to hear from just one. I want to hear from multiple. I'd just be happy with one. I almost had one set up with a community, and I think they looked at my regular Facebook, got spooked, and moved on. So I will re-engage them again here in the next week or 2, see if they're willing to send me one mouthpiece. And like I'm going to tell them, it's going to be a very friendly conversation. I'm not here to attack them. I'm not here to talk down on them. I'm here to learn. And we need a lot more of that in today's world, of just listening to the other side, learning what the other side has to say, and respecting their opinion, even if I don't agree with it. And I truly think that's kind of the barrier between the 5M community and getting them on this program. All right, so it says from a vampire nightclub owner to proclaimers singing reality TV stardom, pretend journalists, bank robbers, and generally astonishing in-game Shakespeare ensembles. GTA Role Player is no stranger to turning full-blooded virtual violence into imaginative theater production. The latest subculture to capture my imagination, however, is RP police academies? That's another question I have for him. Is it one of these where you have to go through an academy? Do I have to be on 7 days a week? Because I'm going to tell you right now, Jack, if I got to be on 7 days a week, or if this thing is going to turn into like a job for me, excuse my language, but fuck Grand Theft Auto, I'll just go back to World of Warcraft. Uh, and he is clearly not alone because while player cops in GTA roleplay servers are nothing new, he first happened upon the homemade law serving scene back in 2017, having spent the last few weeks revisiting some of his former favorite servers and dipping his toe back into some new ones. There's definitely a bit of a blue line reconnaissance going on out there on the crime ridden streets of Los Santos and Blaine County right now. I agree with him. The TikToks that I'm seeing, it looks fun. I still don't understand everything. I still don't. I just don't understand how that world works. And until I get a couple people to tell me how this world works, I guess I'm just going to keep guessing. Fireball's had a little bit of experience in the 5M community, not enough to convince me or to let me know how the hierarchy works. So this is something I'm going to keep digging into, and we're going to come back to it. Across major 5M and Rage MP communities, joining the LSPD isn't a case of spawn in and sound the whaler either. It's a proper ordeal. There's a genuine hiring pipeline, for example, complete with application forms, background checks, interviews, academies, and performance reviews. Assuming you get through all of that, you can indeed rule the streets with an iron fist of law. Officer Tenpenny. Don't pretend you haven't thought about it. He's right, I have. But actually getting there is clearly far from straightforward. I don't. It's bringing more questions than it's answering. Uh, there is a server out there called Eclipse, and in this server, an in-character written application via the LSPD's so-called employment office outlining your character, motivations, and suitability. A review by commanding officers who reject plenty due to unrealistic characters or rule-breaking records. I guess one of these is they keep accountability of you while you're playing the game. So if you are role playing as an MC member and you get tired of role playing as an MC member and you go and you apply for the LSPD, well, the brass already knows that you are on the RP outlaw life, and they're going to say, no, you can't come and do this. I agree with some of that. A formal voice interview checking your RP maturity, clarity, and communication skills. Again, I got it. Those all make sense. You want someone that can communicate clearly, someone who is level headed, and someone who is mature. And I'm not saying that not the maturity in the uh, normal sense of the word. Because after all, we're playing a video game here. But I get it. You don't want an Officer Tenpenny. You don't want a crooked cop. You don't want a cop that is playing double agent. I get it. A full police academy where you're taught radio codes, de escalation, arrests, traffic stops, and scene control. All right, sounds pretty reasonable so far still. A probationary officer phase completing supervised patrols with a field training officer. Again, reasonable. Finally, a full officer status, trusted with independent patrols and reports. Which, truth be told, is all a wee bit too much for me. It's a little wee bit too much for me, too. I say with a straight face while being the guy who once posed as a lawyer and tried to clear a serial killer of murder in Grand Theft Auto 5 roleplay server. I guess you could go that far. I don't know. Like I said, I'm here snickering, and I'm not snickering to be mean. I'm not. I am snickering because reality's hitting me. Reality's showing me that these guys, this is hardcore to them. And I get it. I do. If I had the time to sit behind my computer for hours on end and role play being a cop, role play being in an MC, role play owning a store, a gas station, role play being a celebrity, whatever is in Grand Theft Auto. If I had that time to do it, I'd be all for it. But ladies and gentlemen, I like to touch grass. I like the side of the sun. I like to ride my motorcycle. I like to interact with my wife and my grandkids and my kids and my friends. I like to interact with my audience here on Nomad Gamers. So I get where they're coming from, and I'm not judging them. I'm snickering because I'm starting to understand how serious they are. One thing about being a gamer is you got to stay with an open mind. You can't close off your mind at all for anything, because once you do, you lose your love. And once you lose your love for the game, I promise you're not coming back to it. I lost my love for Fallout 76. I've not been back yet. Grand Theft Auto 5. I didn't lose my love for it. I lost my interest. I left for a few years, took a little break, but then I came back. And now I'm falling in love with the game again. Or I shouldn't say falling in love with it again. I'm getting the fire is back in my belly for it again. So I get it. So I'm saying this: anyone out there watching that is in a 5M community, a role-playing community, message any of my pages down here. Let me know if you would be interested in sitting down and talking with me. I am here to learn. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to learn. As everybody knows, I left World of Warcraft because I felt like it was taking over my life. Video games aren't supposed to do that. When I saw that it was taking over my life, I dropped it. That is not the case for everyone. Everybody is unique. Everybody is beautiful, in the words of Santiago. And I get it. Everybody has their own thing to do. I just couldn't do that lifestyle. So I know that this RP, this role playing, it was not for me, but I have the love to play the game for 2 hours a night when I have time. I love being in front of the camera to Nomad Gamers. I love playing these games, but I don't know if I want to do this a police academy. I don't know. I don't think I could. So if you're in the 5M community, if you're in the role playing community, please reach out to me. I will sit down and have an objective mind with you. All right, that's enough for that. The next topic that is online right now. This is something that Fireball reported on. This is something that Crush Rider has talked about. I haven't. I didn't say anything on the podcast because I didn't know anything about it. I gave my 2 cents about it, but I didn't know this was a real thing until now. To stop killing games is a real thing. The final count for Stop Killing Games petition verifies 1.3 million of its 1.4 million signatures, well above the minimum to be formally considered by EU politicians. They threw out all of Sideshow Bob's votes from the pet cemetery, which they should have. Stop Killing Games, volunteer. And I'm going to murder your name. And if you ever see this, I want to apologize to you about it. Mortez Katzner has shared an update on the popular European Union Citizens Initiative to its official subreddit. The EU has successfully verified 1.294 of Stop Killing Games 1,448,270 signatures. Whew, that's a mouthful. Easily clearing the 1 million minimum count it needed to move forward in the process. Under an infographic breaking down the votes by the EU country, Katzner explained that the team had initially planned a big rollout of the news further down the line, close to Stop Killing Games' next meeting with the EU Commission. I'm not going to read all this boring shit to you. I see where they're coming from. I understand where they're coming from. I don't agree with where they're coming from. Everybody, the world is meant to move forward, okay? Technology is meant to move forward. The PS1, looking back at it, was great when it first came out. Top of the line. Now in 2026, it's painful to go back and play. What this petition is asking the EU to do is to force Rockstar to not shut down Grand Theft Auto 3, not to shut down Grand Theft Auto 4, not to shut down Grand Theft Auto 5 when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out. It's going to force Fallout 76 not to shut down 76 when Fallout 5 comes out, if it goes online. I don't know. I'm just making an example here. While I agree that players generally fall in love with their games and they are wildly supportive of that game, it's their ride or die. You have to understand where the developers are coming from. They don't have infinite amount of space to keep 3 massive games going. Just think about that for a second. We'll take Rockstar as an example. GTA 5 is huge, about that big of a map. GTA 6 is going to be that big of a map. Huge. This petition is asking Rockstar to have both of them up, both of them running, and both of them being maintained. Now, if you ask me, a normal, everyday player, I'm going to go to 6, and I'm not going to see 5. In fact, me and JJ were talking about this very in depth yesterday, and I'm glad I saw this article because it just hammers home what I was talking about. My vision for saying goodbye to Los Santos is when 6 comes out. Let's say 6 comes out, and we're going to port my character from 5 to 6. When I come online, there needs to be a mission to where I'm running from the cops. 5 stars. Like everybody's on me. I can't shake them. I can't get in the mountains. Nothing I do will get the cops off me. But I get down to the airport. I speed up to a private jet that whomever is saying, hey, come to this jet. I get out. I board the jet takes off. Screen goes dark. When it comes back up, I am now into GTA 6 and Vice City. starting a whole new life because whatever I did in Los Santos, I am now highly wanted for. And I don't know anything about the map. I haven't seen the map. I don't know if Los Santos is in 6. I really don't. But if it is, maybe they could do what Red Dead did. Remember, it's the same developer, it's the same company. After a little bit of time, that wanted lever goes away from Los Santos, but you lose everything. You lose your entire criminal empire that you spent 13 years building up because we're in 6. That would be cool. I've seen articles out there where they say buildings are going to be exploding, they're going to be falling down, they're going to just absolutely wreck Los Santos for us to go into the next chapter. I don't agree with it. Just like I don't agree with this petition. It's great that you have that many people that want this. I just don't think it's a good idea. It puts too much of a demand on the developers, especially with a gaming community who is always screaming that they want new content. Part of that new content is you got to kill something else to get that new content because you got to take the space from somewhere to allocate to the new stuff. So for this, I'm glad they're doing it. I'm glad they're standing up, and I'm glad that their voices are being heard. I don't agree with it, but do what you got to do. Hopefully, hopefully you get the outcome that you want. I don't know if you will, but you might. I am bringing this next one up to the Nomad Gamers on Saturday. World of Warcraft might be going through uh, larger transformation than what everybody thought at first. Everybody at first thought that Midnight, that it was just going to be Silver Moon being overhauled. By the way, Silver Moon needed it. Let's just be let's be frank with each other for a minute. As a former WoW player, if they haven't done anything with Silver Moon since I played, I thought it was pretty boring when I was there. So this is actually welcome news. Let's go through this. I'll stop when I need to flap my gums. Redesigns for both Orgrimmar and Stormwind are on the table if World of Warcraft Midnight's Silver Moon overhaul is well received. If it's positive, I think it opens up a bunch of more storytelling opportunities. You got to remember, World of Warcraft has had a lot of storytelling in it. From the events of Warcraft to World of Warcraft Vanilla to the Burning Crusades to the Wrath of the Lynch King to Cataclysm to Mist of Pandaria to the War of Azeroth to the War within, and all the other ones that I don't know about. There's been so much storytelling in it. Stormwind even got a little bit of a, not Stormwind, but Ironforge. It even got a little bit of a face upgrade not too long ago. World of Warcraft Midnight, the incoming expansion for the 2-decade-plus MMO, will be taking players back to Silvermoon. That's been known for some time, but it's also a bit of a continued experiment. See, WoW's Bizened Beast with expansions in the double digits to its name. And if you keep slapping continents on the old girl, it's gonna stop feeling like World of Warcraft and more like a hodgepodge of Warcraft. They're not wrong. They've already added, that I know of, at least 2, maybe 3, depending on if you count Burning Crusades when you go through the portal. Anyway, we know that we're going to get a redesign of Northrend again for the next expansion. The Last Titan. But Blizzard's also considering taking a new lick of paint to some long-standing cities too. Beloved places that haven't seen an overhaul since Cataclysm, which, not to make you feel old or nothing, came out 16 whole years ago. Holy fuck, that makes me feel really fucking old. That's for our cover feature for the upcoming issue of PC Gamer. Okay. Uh, it was a little scary, honestly, to go back in to tackle that zone again, says Gonzalez, regarding Silver Moon and the Ghostlands, given her nostalgia drenched position within the Burning Crusade. Are we going to make the right choices visually? Are we going to change it too much? Are people going to feel like we've taken something away from them? I can answer that question for him. It's very easy. Yes, they will, and no, they won't. For the ones that say yes, they're just going to revert back to WoW Vanilla, or they're going to revert back to uh, the one just before this expansion. For the ones who say no, they're going to love it. They're going to absolutely love it. I think it'd be cool to move Dalaran around. That's what I think. As a matter of fact, Gonzalez admits that most parts of the city, it was just smoke and mirrors. There are a lot of parts of that city that just were not there. That's not too strange to hear. When Cataclysm rebuilt much of the game's two basic kingdoms for flying mounts, there were tons of zones previously only accessible via out of bounds glitches that were flat, featureless plains. Even without that motivation, though, Cubit states that this is a sign of greater things to come. We are really anxious to see how players respond, he says. If it's positive, I think it opens up a bunch more storytelling opportunities. He then tells Heather that reimaginings, reimagings for the major cities of the Alliance and the Horde, Stormwind and Orgrimmar, respectfully, are an example of something they'd like to tackle. I don't know how I feel about those two cities. Those two cities are pretty clean, in my opinion. Those two cities are pretty uh, organized, if you get my drift. You fly in here, you go down here, you go over here, you go over there, you go back to the harbor, you're out to the next area. Everybody knows where everything's at in those two cities. They're easy. They're about as easy as Ironforge. Honestly, I think it's smart. You can't just keep throwing continents at Azeroth and expect it to feel like a cohesive world. And besides, this experiment already worked fine with Dalaran, which was the center hub for both the Wrath of the Lich King and the Legion's expansions in different forms. Then they blew it up in the War Within, which is kind of a remodel if you like to think about it. I got comments and I completely missed them. Uh, Either way, slowly remodeling the old world bit by bit rather than all at once, as was done in Cataclysm. That was kind of cool, by the way. Seems to be the better angle, especially if Blizzard can work in these old world locations to the present story in interesting ways. Silvermoon's not just being rehashed because of nostalgia, but because it makes sense for, and I can't say this word, I'm not even going to try it, void obsessed goth, former sapient knife, and central antagonist to attack the Sunwell. So why not give the place a second pass while we're there? Ingenious, Blizzard. I'm going to give you a passing grade so far. I want to hear what Crest Rider has to say. But I think it is amazing how they are going back to the old world and giving another purpose to a city that, let's face it, was pretty purposeless throughout the game. The entire time that I was playing World of Warcraft, I played all the way up to Mista Pandaria. And I left pretty much in concert with Sweet Kitty Pie when they nerfed a whole bunch of things and made it to where you could just one button spam and do your thing. They kind of took the complicity out of it. My character, Godfather, is forever perched above Orgrimmar, overlooking the city. But I was there for Cataclysm. Cataclysm was a very good expansion. Cataclysm was one of those ones where you were excited to get into it. You were ready to go and see what did they do to our world. You went into one zone. The day before, it was a flat plain. The next day, right after Cataclysm, there's a fucking canyon running through it. All of the watchtowers are blown down. You go up to another beloved village. I don't remember the name of the village now. If Crush Rider was here, he could tell me. That whole village is wiped out. It gave you a sense to go and explore the world and explore things that you may or may not have been to. In some cases, a year or more. The expansion after Cataclysm, you had to go through Stormwind to get to. They added the harbor. They repurposed Stormwind. I think it's a very good idea to take the story after, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, take it from wherever it's at to an old world city, repurpose it, have both of your stories going. You got the story where people are leveling up and coming through the expansions. They're there for this reason. You got all the OGs who are already 75, 80, 85. They're coming to the city for the new expansion, the end game stuff. So you got a little bit of a mix of both in there. I think this is ingenious. I wish other games would do the same thing. Hey, JJ, thank you for the like, my man. This is just one reason why I will forever go back to saying that Blizzard and World of Warcraft is like the granddaddy of all games. And this is why I keep pointing back to them. This is why I wish Rockstar would take a page out of their book. This is why I wish Fallout would take a page out of Rockstar's book. By the way, it's not copyrighted. Bethesda could do it. And I'm talking about the single game over here and your multi-game over here and being able to go between the two. They could do it. It's not copyrighted. But they refuse to. Then you got a company like Blizzard who says, fuck that. We're going to blaze our own trail. We're going back to Silvermoon, or we're going back to Dalaran, or we're going back to Stormwind, or we are going back to Orgrimmar or Ironforge, or wherever the hell they say they're going. And they make their story go back to the old world. And it gives them a chance to refresh the old world and give it a new purpose. I love it. I absolutely love it. I wish more games would do it. All right, so like Madden, where every year you get a new game, WWE 2K26. The leak reveals the release date and the platforms for launch. It's not really a leak. They confirmed it. The release date on current gen platforms is March the 13th. And you're going to be getting it on all major platforms. I also saw they're going to have an Attitude Era. They're going to revisit the 90s. I don't really play it much. I haven't played it in a long time. But I do know there's people like JJ who say it's, WWE is kind of like a way of life for them. All right, so that's all I have to say about WWE. What do we think about all of these games that are getting movies? What do we think about all these games that are getting TV shows? And I'll give you a couple examples. Halo, mainly panned when it went to a TV show. Fallout, highly praised as a TV show. Mario, it's been a cartoon, it's been a TV show, it's been a movie, multiple movies. All of them getting mixed reviews, some high, some low. A Minecraft movie, depends on who you are, depends on what your age, whether it's highly rated or in the tank. That one's kind of back and forth. Ladies and gentlemen, now we got Zelda. Now we have Zelda. And I can't look at Zelda without hearing The Adventures of Link, the soundtrack. As you're running around. And you're either getting your ass whooped or you're whooping ass. But it's just a little sword. And you just turn. And you just turn. And then you get like a fireball. And you're shooting that thing. And you're just turning. And then you're walking forward. And the whole time your little sword is just going back and forth. And then you get a shield. And then you see this. It's amazing. Maybe it's because I grew up with it. But if you want to watch the new Legend of Zelda, let's just go through the article because I'm going to fuck it up. The Legend of Zelda is one of Nintendo's oldest and most profitable franchises, so it makes sense the series would be one of the first to be converted into a featured film. I'm going to watch it. Due to a deal with Sony, Netflix has obtained exclusive streaming rights to the Zelda movie ahead of its release. This is just one of Netflix's latest power plays, cementing the platform's status as a leader in streaming services. As of now, the service's prices haven't increased due to the deal, but Netflix's price plan is already famously inflated. It is. I had Netflix for years and years and years. I dropped it because they weren't bringing out anything new, number one. Number two, the price was just outrageous. And then Verizon hooked me again when I got my cell phone. They said, hey, you can get this and Disney Plus and HBO Max, all this other shit for $10 a month added onto your phone bill. What the hell? Here you go. So now I got Netflix again. So when Zelda comes out, I am watching it. Let's see when Zelda the movie or Zelda the movie comes out May 7th of 2027. Wow. That is out there. It looks like they've already done some filming. And it doesn't look bad. I thought it would look worse, but it doesn't. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. But you can't watch it unless you're on Netflix. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is ending of Talking Tuesday. I have been watching Santiago Cirillo a little bit more here lately. He's still doing great things with Back from the Dead. He's still doing great things with motivating everybody with laughter, with entertainment. He's helping the mental health community. He's doing great things for Inhumane Wrestling. He's doing great things for Dark Realm TV. So go to his Facebook, go to his TikTok, go to whatever. Give him a like. Give him some support. But in his words, not mine, his words, your negativity cannot and will not break me. You're beautiful the way you are. Keep being you. If you're out there and you're playing a game and you run across a griefer and that griefer needs blown the fuck up, you blow that motherfucker up. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. Most of all, thank you for watching Talking Tuesday. We've been averaging between 4 and 5 viewers on all my social medias, except for TikTok. TikTok, we had 27 total viewers tonight. At one time, I had like 5 or 7. I looked over and I couldn't believe it. I was like, holy shit, I got all these people watching me live. Thank you for your support. I do appreciate it. Tomorrow night, I will not be gaming. I do have a baseball meeting at 7:30. If that gets over early, I will dip my toes into gaming. And then we got Thursday, and of course Friday night, Freaky Friday. I'll be out trying to game. Saturday, I got something going on, but we have Sunday Fun Day coming up where I'll be playing Minecraft with Sweet Kitty Pie, and I'll talk more about that on Thursday night. So until I see you again, either tomorrow night or for Thursday.